We will start the regular meeting here. Recommend the Board of Education approve the agenda for the January 27, 2025 regular meeting. Can I get a motion to approve? Thank you, Ms. Martindale. A second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, or is there any additions or corrections? Seeing none, roll call.
Ms. Martindale.
Yes.
Ms. D'Angelo Steele.
Yes.
Ms. Liskini.
Yes.
Mrs. Peterson.
Yes.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes, moving on now, it's recommended the Board of Education approve the minutes from the January 6, 2025 meeting as attached. Can I get a motion to approve that? Thank you, Mrs. Martindale. Second?
Second, Liskini.
Thank you, Ms. Liston. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, roll call.
Ms. Martindale.
Yes.
Ms. Liskini.
Yes.
Steele.
Yes.
Mrs. Peterson.
Yes.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes. Our first agenda item is a presentation, the Spotlight Our Schools with Dr. Pamela Downing. Hi, Pam.
Hi,
Thanks
how are
for
you?
being here. I'm great.
Yep. Good evening, President Bosso, Vice President D'Angelo Steele, members of the board, Mr. Banks, and Mr. Garside. It's my pleasure to be here tonight to share some of the things that are happening at Southwestern Career Academy. Thanks to the board and to the district, we have robust opportunities at the Career Academy. We offer 17 programs in 10 different pathways, 70 unique industry-recognized credentials. Our goal is to have 100% of our students leave the Career Academy with at least one industry-recognized credential. We offer dual enrollment, career technical assurance guides, which are CTAGs, and these are a type of articulated credit for career technical education. We offer 241 career technical credits through articulated credit, and we offer 15 additional academic credits through College Credit Plus. Let's see. So we've been working hard to make improvements to our student outcomes. We've been working really diligently here to do that. For example, student achievement, which is technical skill attainment. I'm sure you've heard this before, which we get through web exam, our end of course test for career technical classes. In 2022-23, we had 46.9% of our English language learner students earn technical skill attainment. Now, technical skill attainment is they take 4 web exams over the course of their 2-year program. And so proficient and higher as a score on those 4 web exams result in technical skill attainment. And so we took them to 81%, which is a 34% growth in 1 year. We also worked with our students with disabilities. They were at 57% technical skill attainment in the 2022-23 school year, and they grew to 89%, which is a 32% growth. Overall, our entire student body, they were at 84.5% in the 2022-23 school year, and they grew to 94.65% technical skill attainment, a 10% growth. So this was based on a lot of initiatives and a lot of hard work from the staff. And so we were really proud of those results because our English language learners and our students with disabilities were our 2 lowest performers on the web exam. We also worked really hard to increase our work-based learning hours and participation, and I know that Christine Galvin talked about that already. But we, our career pathway specialists, they're really leading the charge. That's Debbie Stiff and Dawn Weaver. They're really leading the charge to open up opportunities for our students, and they take a lot of that pressure off of our teachers to be responsible for that. We currently have, this year, 215 students engaged in work-based learning, and realize it's just the end of first semester. The big push is during second semester. So we expect to see even more growth. And that's 70% of our seniors out on work-based learning already. Combined, they have earned more than 65,000 hours this school year. I had to add up a couple of times with the calculator to make sure it was accurate. It seemed like a lot. Our career pathway specialists, I can't tell you how hard they're working and how much they're supporting the teachers, so we really appreciate that. Here we have some of the technical skill attainment by program. You can see the 2022-23 school year and the 23-24 data and the differences, but that's not broken down by subgroups, that's just by labs. So this year we received 5 stars on the Career Technical Planning District report card, and much of that is focused here at the Career Academy. We met 8 out of 9 federal indicators. The one indicator we did not meet was the non-traditional student enrolled in a career tech program. So that's like males in cosmetology or females in auto technology. So that's the one area we haven't met an indicator. So other indicators include graduation rate, academic proficiency in English, in math, and in science, post-secondary placement, participation in work-based learning, and technical skill attainment. So we can go on to the next slide if you would. Thank you. So the achievement we've already talked about, so I won't continue there, but career and post-secondary readiness, that's the ACT or SAT scores that are remediation-free, 12-point credentials, military enlistment, CTAGs, web exams, Ohio Means Jobs, CTSO participation in leadership, etc. We had 213 seniors complete at least one readiness standard for cohort 2023. So we felt really strong there. We felt we were doing really well. Our graduation rate, cohort 2023 was 98.3%. Cohort 2024 was 100% graduation rate. Post-program outcomes, we had 84.3% of our students earn a credential for the cohort 2023. 57.1% earned 12 points worth of industry-recognized credentials in a single career tech pathway. And the 12-point credential is the gold standard. That's what we want. 96.8% of graduates were placed in military, post-secondary education, apprenticeship, service programs, or were employed 6 months after graduation. I'm really proud of my staff. I'm really proud of my staff for all that they're doing to lift up students and impact what they're doing. The next area where we've been working hard to improve what we're doing is with career tech student organizations. That could be the last slide. So we have 3 career tech student organizations that our students participate in at the Career Academy. One is BPA, one is Skills USA, and the other is FCCLA. And the only program that participates in FCCLA currently is our early childhood education program. The largest of our organizations is Skills USA. So participation, 100% of our students belong to one of the 3 CTSOs. That's legislated. It's a requirement for career technical education. All activities are co-curricular, so the skills that they are learning through career tech or CTSO participation, they're embedded in the learning standards for the programs. All students are able to participate in leadership or in the competitions, and they build leadership skills through participation. That's one of the most important parts, or the significant parts of participation in career tech student organizations. Participation in leadership will begin to count on our career and post-secondary readiness data, so on our report card, and also for quality program review, which I know Christine's mentioned to you earlier this evening. So our main pushes have been CTSOs, work-based learning, and technical skill attainment for our students. And we are really looking forward to seeing where we can go in the future. We're currently looking at universal design for learning this year. Last year we looked at ways to improve literacy. This year we're looking at that specifically through universal design for learning, which is checking out your lesson plans to see what road bumps you're putting in front of students inadvertently. You may not be, you're not meaning to as a teacher, but they're probably in there somewhere. So we're going to be working some more this spring on looking at our lesson plans and seeing what we can do or change to make learning easier for our students. Are there any questions?
I have a couple things.
Sure.
First, thank you so much. You're doing amazing things here in this building. So awesome. One, I was wondering if you could touch a little bit upon your EL and students Your EL students and students with disabilities, the percent increase was amazing.
Yeah.
Very impressive. And I'm just wondering if you could touch a little bit upon that and how you're doing that.
So we, as a staff, we sat down and we were having conversations about what we can do to improve student outcomes with technical skill attainment. And everybody kind of agreed that the root cause of the problem was literacy. And so we received a grant which covered, we had a speaker come, she authored the book, But I'm Not a Reading Teacher. And it had strategies for people who aren't trained as reading teachers to implement in their classroom to benefit students. Her name was Amy Benjamin, and through the grant I was able to buy a copy of her book for each staff member. And I had her present twice. Both times were virtual. The first time was the first day of school, teacher's first day back, and the second time was at the March PD. And so the staff chose strategies from her book to implement, and one was Latin roots. And we set up a schedule where our English teachers do a deep dive into the Latin root of the week, and then there's a schedule like math goes on Tuesday, science on Wednesday, social studies on Thursday, and career tech on Friday, where they have to do like a bell work or just a touch with that same Latin root. So that went very well. We feel like our students were able to make a better guess as to what a word might mean if they could identify the root. And then there was work done with prefixes and suffixes in the English language arts classrooms. So when it came down to it this year, we added Greek roots for our seniors. So our juniors get the Latin roots and our juniors get the Greek roots. So we're just hoping to make them better able to figure out what a word might mean that's unique and new to them. So that was a big thing. We also offered after-school tutoring, lunch and learns. We did a success camp at the start of the year for both of those two subgroups to come and get acclimated to the Career Academy and learn executive functioning skills, etc.
Wonderful. I had one other thing I wanted to ask. The work-based learning, you said 70% of seniors are doing work-based learning. I'm curious, what is the percentage of students that stay with those employers after graduation? Do you have
I do not have that data, but that's
just curious
good data.
what that looks like normally in a normal year.
Yeah, a number of the students, I can try to pull some data for that, but a number of the students will be hired recruited by another company based on graduation, or they may stay with that company. Some may go on to military enlistment and leave that employment, or they may go on to college. Sometimes they're working and going to college, oftentimes with tuition reimbursement so that they come out of college debt-free.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Pamela, how'd you get all these grants?
Writing.
She's
Right
going to give a class to the whole district on grants.
I don't think so, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Moving on now, we got items for action under fiscal and operational management with Mrs. Peterson.
Okay, let's talk money. Talk money. You will see on the agenda for tonight, there is 2 resolutions. The first one is to authorize the purchase of buses. It is recommended that the Board of Education accepts the bids as organized by the Meta Solutions from Cardinal Bus Sales and Services. This is for 8 78-passenger gasoline school buses and 6 48-passenger Lyft gasoline buses, each equipped with digital video systems at a cost of, I'm just going to say 1.9. I will tell you, I looked at that multiple times, like buses are expensive. 1.9 million. This capital purchase will be made from the Permanent Improvement Fund. A little bit of background on this before I go to the second resolution. The district has consistently budgeted a portion of the funds from the permanent improvement levy that was passed in the spring of 2025 for bus purchases. So know that these things are taken in consideration as we are trying to keep our transportation department, our bus drivers and our kiddos in safe vehicles, bus transportation, and keeping up with that. It's no different how after so many years in time, our cars go kaplunk or they start to have that wear and tear and you gotta get another vehicle. We want to keep them in good buses. The district targets a purchase of 10 to 15 buses each year to maintain a strong fleet, okay? So that's a little bit of background on resolution number 1 for the purchase of buses. 2, resolution to authorize the purchase of bus replacements. It is recommended that the Board of Education replaces 2 total buses from the bids as organized by the Meta Solutions from Cardinal Bus Sales and Services. This will be one 78-passenger conventional gasoline bus and one 48-passenger Lyft gasoline bus for a total cost of $267,063. This capital purchase will be made with insurance proceeds and from improvement funds. Background on this one is that two buses were totaled in accidents this year. The district's insurance policy provides replacement coverage for buses within a certain limit. The district will use the insurance proceeds and the permanent improvement funds to be able to complete the purchase of those 2 replacement buses. Okay. Mr. President, after reviewing these items, I move them for approval.
Can I get a second? Second, Mrs. Martindale. Can I get a roll call, please?
Ms. Peterson.
Yes.
Ms. Martindale.
Yes.
Ms. D'Angelo Steele.
Yes.
Ms. Liskini.
Yes.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes. Staying with Mrs. Peterson, we're going to facilities development.
Okay, facilities and development. Here we are. I have a resolution declaring existence of urgent necessity authorizing a waiver of competitive bidding requirement pursuant to revised code 3313.46, and it's authorizing a contract with General Temperature Control to replace the boilers at Jackson Middle School. A little background on this resolution. On January 7th, 2 boilers, or I should say both of the boilers, went down at Jackson Middle School building without heat. They have heat, okay? They have heat now. We got fix. Now, it's a fix, but we don't know how long, but it's a fix, okay? So I don't want it to be said they ain't got heat. Hopefully, they have heat. Second, emergency replacement of the boilers is immediate requirement and necessary to facilitate the district's educational needs in a timely manner and to protect the school property. I will explain this a little bit more soon. The time available for these bids is not sufficient to allow completion of the work in an expeditious manner and could cause disruption in the operation of the facility. The district has requested quotes from 2 companies that specialize in boiler installations. In compliance, General Temperature provided a cost of $111,000 and I can't even get my numbers out today. $100,011,370 to replace both boilers. Okay. With the compliance and procedures for advertising and receiving bids described by the Ohio Revised Code in section 3313.46 would unduly delay the commencement of procurement for excessive period of time and would threaten the district's ability to provide safe, suitable, and sufficient space for students and for staff the remainder of the calendar year. To quickly explain that and summarize that, what the concern would be is that, let's say, said fix that is holding the system to work right now for Jackson Middle School, you guys seen what the cold temperatures have brought. If the boiler goes down, the concern would be that we would be without heat for those kids, which then means that interferes with their education timeline and the delay of being able to provide that for them. Therefore, this is being brought forth after further review with the facilities department for it to be approved for purchase.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Peterson. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Liskini.
Thank you, Mrs. Liskini. Roll call.
Mrs. Peterson.
Yes.
Ms. Liskini.
Yes.
Mrs. D'Angelo Steele.
Yes.
Ms. Martindale.
Yes.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes, moving on to items for actions for students, school, and community with Mrs. Liskini.
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening, we have 3 action items under student and school community. The first one is Central Crossing High School softball team to travel to Deer Creek State Lodge. It is requested that the Central Crossing High School softball team wanting to travel to Deer Creek, planned for February 22nd and 23rd of 2025. Students will miss 0 days of school, and trip expenses will be paid by the softball team booster account. The second item is Grove City High School cheer to travel to the Ohio State University campus, and the trip is planned for July 7th through the 10th of 2025. Students will, of course, miss 0 days of school, and the trip expenses will be paid by students, parents, and fundraising. And number 3 is the Westlawn High School wrestling team that traveled to Marion, Ohio. You'll notice that this was a wrestling tournament, January 24th and 25th, so it did already happen. They missed 1 half day of school. It came between the last board meeting and this board meeting, so a board member, aka myself, was notified, and so we do have to have notification of that. Did notify me and talked to Monty Detterman about all of that, and yes, so that happened 24th and 25th. After reviewing these items, I move them for approval.
Thank you so much. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Martindale. Roll call.
Ms. Liskini.
Yes.
Ms. Martindale.
Yes.
Mrs. D'Angelo Steele.
Yes.
Mrs. Peterson.
Yes.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes. Moving on now for items for action and personnel, Mrs. Martindale.
First of all, Mr. President, thank you for switching around our areas of focus. I'm really enjoying personnel and getting to understand some of the ins and outs of our hiring. So for tonight, we have 7 personnel items involving 58 persons. This includes 8 certificated resignations, 7 certificated changes in employment, 28 certificated employments, 8 of which are supplementals, 4 classified resignations, 2 classified changes in employment, and 7 classified employments. So having reviewed all of those, I do move them for action. But before I do that, I just want to say that we are continually, actively hiring, and you don't want to miss your chance to work for Southwestern City School District, be in our family either as a full-time employee or in a substitute role. And you can apply at any point on the careers tab at swcsd.us. I'll be excited hopefully to hear your name when I'm meeting with Matt to get all my briefs on personnel. So yes, I move those for action.
Thank you, Mrs. Martindale. Can I get a second? Thank you so much. Roll call.
Ms. Martindale.
Yes.
Mrs. D'Angelo Steele.
Yes.
Ms. Liskini.
Yes.
Mrs. Peterson.
Yes.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes. Moving on now for items for discussion. Anybody got anything for discussion? Well, you guys don't like it. I was wanting to see if anybody would be interested in being our legislative liaison. If somebody wants to volunteer, or we can have a discussion and see who would be most interested. Anybody stepping up? I see it over here.
I'd be interested.
We could even put 2 people on it, so it wouldn't be such a chore.
I'd be interested.
Well, thank you, Denise. You know what? I'll do it with you. So if you can do something, this would be somebody that would go to the State House, talk to our legislative representatives on issues that might affect our schools. So this is something important that I did forget about. I'm sorry.
I'll be the alternate.
All right. Is Is that all right with everybody? Do we need to take a vote on that, Hugh, or is that just an administrative thing?
That's just, you can.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, anybody else for discussion?
I have a couple things I wanted to mention, sorry, just a few shout outs. The Southwestern Career Academy students recently met with Senator Kyle Kohler at the State House to share their experiences with CTE and the amazing things that go on here and how they're preparing for their future. So that was very, very cool for them, and kudos to those students for going to speak with Senator Kohler. Also, the School Bell Awards, the nominations are being accepted now through March 22nd of 2025. So please nominate your favorite staff member. And you can access that on the front page of the district website. And then wanted to say a special welcome to our new two new service dogs, Bo at Central Crossing High School and Luna at Franklin Heights High School. Very, very cool. I'm planning on visiting this week to see them as well. Also, we heard this earlier from Dr. Shuey, and I wanted to give a shout out to Westland High School. They were recognized by Nationwide Children's Hospital as the 100th Project Adam Heart Safe School in the state of Ohio, which is really, really great, and kudos to the staff there for stepping up and getting that certification. Adam is a program for cardiac arrest preparedness, and I believe that all 4 of our high schools have folks who have gone through that training and the certification. So thank you very much to all of those teachers and staff who have done that. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing nothing else, we're going to go ahead and head into executive session. It's recommended the Board of Education adjourn to executive session according to policy 0166 to consider the employment or compensation of public employees. Can I get a motion to go to executive session?
No.
Thank you, Mrs. Martindale. Can I get a second?
Second, Peterson.
Thank you, Mrs. Peterson. Roll call.
Ms. Martindale. Mrs. Peterson.
Yes.
Ms. D'Angelo Steele.
Yes.
Ms. Liskini.
Yes.
Mr. Bosso.
Yes. As usual, we don't expect anything after executive session, but you're more than welcome to stay out. Thank you for coming. Have a good evening.